struggle in South Africa has lasted 500 years. Since the coming of the Portuguese here, 500, there was a battle for freedom. And the land was dispossessed from the people. And then we have the Europeans coming to settle in this country. And they were the people who took most of the land. And that the battle was always on. And then the revolution started. 1653, the first political prisoner came to the island. But then things went on and the fight was on. 1960, the major impact of the uprisings came. 1976, there was another uprising, 1,500 political prisoners, mostly blacks, to the island. And then towards the end of our struggle, with the freedom of Nelson Mandela. And now Nelson Mandela worked in the quarry, where the white guards were there, but they were allowed to further their education. And the white guards were not so educated, they too came down for education. And it was the teachers, the political teachers, who helped them to further their education. And Mr. Mandela would always tell us, let us not fight these young white guards, because they too are all victims of a vicious society. And Mr. Mandela would rather say, let us rather bring them down, bring them closer to our chest, and it worked. And with the help of the political prisoners, the guards too left the island with university degrees. But Mr. Mandela, whenever he comes back to the island, he always tell us and say the word reconciliation. Now remember, the word reconciliation means forgiveness and do not take revenge. It's not his word. He borrowed that word from another great civil rights leader from America, none other than Martin Luther King. But if you study the philosophy of Martin Luther King again, he would say, no, that's not his word. He borrowed that word from another great politician that was arrested in South Africa, and maybe not in prison on the island, but in prison on the mainland. And that is none other than Mahatma Gandhi. So today, after 500 years of struggle, we can easily claim that this country today is floating on the philosophy of the 3 M's, the philosophy of that of Mahatma Gandhi. Forgiveness and do not take revenge. Martin Luther King, Mandela. Now this is where this country is heading now in a moment. And just for your information, if you go up in the history of Africa, Central Africa especially, up to today, after 50 years of their independence, they are still taking revenge on one another. Our political buzzword, do not take revenge. Thanks to great men Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and that of Mandela.